I'm in front of this cool modernist Lutheran church here in South Minneapolis this evening, and I was really racking my brain for something to talk about today, but I think that I've got it. I want to talk about my social media strategy with the MVA, what it is we're trying to do and why we're trying to do it, and maybe even some of the stuff that you kind of struggle with in doing so. So the first thing would be I think the nature of what we're doing. So I'm active right now on obviously YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. On Twitter, it's really kind of editorials and then just publishing links of stuff that, if I think oh, this is awesome, I might share it, or it's our videos. But I think the main focus is a kind of editorializing about restarting a business, working, or stuff that is annoying me. Then you'll see Instagram, where we're doing where I'm doing these 30 to 60 second vlogs of just really short stuff, publishing random stuff that I find in our Dropbox of our work, and then just cool stuff that I encounter. The ideal thing for me would be if the Instagram was just all new work all the time, but that's kind of impossible because of the fact that I'm doing this contract gig from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. I teach 2 nights a week, and then I can really only do a couple projects at a time right now. So there's just not the volume to support the amount of content that I want to be putting out at any given time. And I guess about 20 something days ago, I decided that we should start doing this video blog every day. And I think the biggest reason for doing that, and I'm going to try to be as unfiltered and honest as possible. When I started doing this vlog, I wanted to make sure that it was really quite truthful and admitting to mistakes and to screwing up and whatnot. That's really difficult. And the reason that it's really difficult is for 2 reasons. First off, admitting that you've done anything stupid is really painful, especially when you don't have the counter example to offset it. So for example, it's fantastic to, I love talking about the design process stuff because I can look at the stuff that I was doing wrong or was stupid about, and then I can look at what I've done in the last 3 years, and there's an antidote to the stupidity. When I get into the financial stuff or the client development stuff or the project management stuff, well, actually, scratch that. The project management stuff, I can bring the counter examples, but when we're talking about the financial stuff or the business development stuff, there's really not the counter examples, and that sucks. It sucks to have done something stupid and either not be able to talk about how you're not doing it stupid anymore because we just haven't had the opportunity yet to not do it stupidly anymore. But then the other danger, the other thing that sucks is you want to make sure, or I want to make sure, that it does not come off like I am trying to get empathy or sympathy. And I'm self-aware enough to realize that that's not what's happening. I don't think anybody's watching these and feels like they need to jump in the comments and keep me from slitting my wrists. I don't think anybody would watch the stuff I'm saying and think I'm being unjustifiably harsh. I hope I'm being appropriately harsh on myself. But that's still a challenge because there have been videos that I wanted to make and I kind of worked on them for a bit, and I just was this is too bleak with no counterexample or no antidote to the problem. So that's a little bit of preamble to that situation. But the big thing, and I think that what I'm trying to do is I am trying to find avenues for making content that are as friction-free as possible, because it takes effort just to make the cover for these YouTube videos. And that's I've got a master document set up. It's not a big deal, but I have to do it at these weird hours and just managing what I'm currently doing. So my entire workflow, I'm just trying to make sure I don't have to make anything. So I would love to do something more elevated for this channel, but I can't. I don't have the resources at the moment. And what my solution was just to kind of completely shut down on making anything for my other YouTube channel just so that there's only one place you might see this particular red bearded dude outside talking into an iPhone. But everything is about really trying to do the bare minimum, because what I need to do is like I need to stay on top of the work, and I think I need to stay on top of the business stuff that I've been doing that's behind the scenes, like figuring out all the details of the process stuff, or figuring out the pricing, or trying to figure out this like licensing part of it. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing, and at any given moment I'm trying to push forward multiple stuff. So like I'm sitting there being like, okay, I've got this design commitment, but I also have this other stuff. And in the past, where I often made mistakes was I was pushing forward the design commitment at the expense of the internal stuff that needed to be done, or I was putting too much effort into the social media stuff, and that was getting in the way of doing actual work. And that's like a different problem in and of itself, but there's still things that I reflect on, because like the big thing is trying not to make the same mistakes anymore. You know, I'm trying to make kind of forward progress and make sure that 2019 does not look like 2011 in terms of how I spend my time and the results that I get. So with each of these channels, I'm trying to make sure that I don't have to make anything extra. Like for doing these, I record it, bring it into iMovie, and just delete as much of the pauses, retakes, and ums that I can get rid of, and that's about it. And then I make a cover for it. When it comes to Twitter, it would be cool to do stuff that's more graphic or more visual, but I just try to play to the strengths there and keep it text and conversational. And then on Instagram, what I used to do a lot of was like try to make these like text-based posts or talk more about process. And I think at the end of the day, I don't have the time to, so I put that content here. Like where I would have maybe wrote a Instagram caption that might have gotten a higher level of engagement, I'm kind of scrapping that, and instead I try to talk about that stuff here. Now the other question would become, what am I trying to get out of this? And I'm going to try to keep this as like mercenary and for real as possible, despite the fact that on the one hand, I've been teaching for 10 years. It's pretty clear that I'm a natural born teacher and I love it. But on the other hand, the real facts are, to build a business, I need to get out of the house. But if I'm already if I'm already working 9 to 5, and I'm teaching a couple nights a week, and I'm making the stuff that goes into teaching a couple nights a week, and then I got to spend the rest of that time designing or working on the business, then I can't really like I could go out a bit, but I'm going to completely not see my family. So what's the point of going out? Like, you go out to network, which at its really basic level just means talk to people, find common ground, become friends, solve each other's problems, which is all cool. But I don't have that much time to do that if I still want to see my family. Like, the thing where people do this thing of like they run a business and then they don't see their family at all, that to me seems like total insanity, and that's not what I want. Like, what I want to do is like actually run the business during the day and see my family constantly. So if another part of what I'm doing means I'm constantly having to be out of the house, quote unquote networking, that's really unattractive to me. So what I am trying to do is, knowing that the amount of effort I'll have to put into it is probably a lot more, but I'm trying to network via putting my thoughts and opinions and hopefully helping out into the public. So, you know, my big hope is like in doing these videos that I'm building the network that way. In using Twitter as a very conversational format, that I'm building the network that way, and that in playing to the strengths of Instagram of just sharing cool stuff, but it's about building that network. And, you know, I am trying to create a situation where you are getting to know me. And I have a feeling that, in these early days of doing this, that this is really about me talking to other creatives, which obviously has its benefits, right? Like, I'm not stupid. I get that somebody watching this right now, you might be a junior designer at one place, and then 5 years down the line, you might be a creative director who hires studios to work with. And so obviously I'm talking to designers, but at the same time, I want to be cultivating a relationship with people who are going to need creative work done. And it sounds so mercenary and gross to say that, but that's honestly what I'm hoping for. Like, I want to be making, human connections, but I guess the benefit is that, like, when you make a human connection with somebody, you're more likely to do business anyway. But to me, the reason for putting these out every single day is like, this is my way, right now at least, of getting out of the house and talking shop with people and shaking hands and kissing babies and, handing out candy on Halloween or whatever. So that's what I'm trying to do now. And, as I put more effort into this becomes one of those things where it's like, you want to elevate it. It's like, you want to bring music and you want to do graphics and you want to shoot better quality stuff. But right now it's like, I'm of the opinion that doing something beats doing nothing or planning for doing something cool later. All right. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you dug it. Leave a question or comment if you have it.